The wind outside the mansion carried a restless chill, but inside, the air trembled with something far heavier: fear. Arman Khan stood in the shadowed hallway, watching his young son Ayan. The boy tapped his fingers on the polished floor, his gaze drifting as if following a silent melody only he could hear. Born deaf, Ayan had grown up in quiet isolation, a world without sound, laughter, or warnings. Tonight felt different. Arman's jaw tightened as he lifted the small, mysterious device he had hidden for weeks. When the envelope first arrived, unmarked, unsigned, cold, he almost threw it away. But the letter inside froze his blood. "This can change your son Ren's destiny," it read. "But it comes with a price." The device rested in his trembling hand. It resembled a fragment of smooth metal, carved with patterns that shimmered faintly like something alive. Arman didn't trust it, yet hope had begun to beat louder than fear. When hope whispers loud enough, even caution bows. Ayan crawled toward the staircase, curiosity in his wide eyes. Arman knelt and gently turned him around. "Papa is here," he whispered, though he knew the boy couldn't hear. Still, speaking eased the ache in his heart. He brushed a hand through Ayan's dark hair and breathed deeply. He had failed too many times, consulting doctors, specialists, and experts who offered nothing. Money could buy influence, property, entire companies, but not the one thing his son needed. Except maybe now. Arman opened a dusty storage room where moonlight pooled like silver across the floor. The shadows seemed to watch. Gently, he lifted Ayan into his lap. The boy rested his head against his father's chest, calm and unaware of what was coming. Arman took out the device. It pulsed faintly, warm in his palm. "I hope this isn't a mistake," he whispered. He pressed the device behind Ayan's ear. A faint vibration shivered through the room. The air stirred, as if responding. Ayan flinched, eyes widening. His small fingers curled into Arman's shirt. Arman froze. Then Ayan's eyes darted upward, alert, startled, trembling. His mouth opened in a soft gasp. He had heard something. The realization struck Arman like lightning. Tears blurred his vision. "Ayan, can you hear me?" The boy blinked, uncertain, confused, overwhelmed. Then he pointed at Arman Sip's throat, as though sensing the vibrations of his voice. His lips quivered. Arman whispered again, voice shaking. "My son, my boy." Ayan raised a trembling hand toward the ceiling, pointing at the humming bulb above them. The sound, the faint buzz, was reaching him. He laughed. A soft, broken, beautiful laugh. Arman clutched him close, overcome. For the first time, Ayan recognized the sound of his own joy, and the tiny room felt like a miracle expanding in every direction. But miracles don't or to come alone. The device flickered suddenly. The patterns across its surface glowed brighter, too bright. A sharp pulse shot through the air. Ayan cried out, covering his ears. Arman's relief shattered. He tried to pull the device off, but it had fused tightly. The humming deepened, vibrating through the walls. Ayan whimpered. His newfound hearing turned into painful noise. Then a loud crack. The bulb burst above them. Glass scattered across the floor. Ayan screamed at the sound. Arman shielded him, heart hammering. Something was wrong, very wrong. When the vibration finally eased, Ayan slumped forward, exhausted. The device dimmed. A voice echoed from the hallway. "You activated it too soon." Arman spun around. A tall man stepped out of the shadows, face half hidden, eyes cold as steel. Arman's pulse thudded. He had seen that face once, on a security clip from a restricted research lab that supposedly burned down years ago. The man took a step forward. "You were warned there would be consequences." Arman tightened his hold on Ayan. "Who are you? Why send this to me?" The stranger ignored the question. The device was second meant for children. Its energy is unstable unless controlled by someone trained. Yusep exposed him to something you don't set and understand. Armin felt a surge of fury. He heard for the first time, "That Sep's all I care about." The stranger shook his head. "No, that was only the awakening. You at Sev unlocked a sense beyond hearing." Armin Sep's blood ran cold. "What are you talking about?" The man Seg's gaze drifted to Aeon, who stared back with strange, deep awareness. "Your son can now sense frequencies the human mind is insect-built to handle. Sounds beneath silence. Vibrations that shouldn't exist." Aeon's fingers twitched. He slid off Armin's lap and stepped onto the cold floor. His head tilted slightly, as though listening to something distant. Then he whispered, his first word, soft and haunting. "Voices." Armin swallowed hard. "Aeon, what voices?" Aeon pointed toward the door. "They stir calling." The stranger exhaled sharply.
"It has begun."
Armin grabbed Aeon Sep's hand. "We set her leaving." But the stranger blocked the doorway. "If you take him outside now, you won't survive the night." Armin stepped forward, jaw clenched. The stranger didn't set. "You need me. Your son needs me." The device was only the key. What comes next is far more dangerous. Armin felt his world tightening around him. The room darkened as clouds swallowed the moonlight. Andien clutched his shirt suddenly, trembling again. "Papa!" "Noise," he whispered. Armin looked at the stranger. "Tell me what set's happening to my son." The man's force lowered. "He is hearing what exists between worlds." A sudden thud echoed from the mansion corridor. Another, and another. A fine Zit's breathing quickened. "Papa, they stir here." Armin turned toward the door, heart pounding. The stranger stepped back, eyes narrowing. "Get ready. This is only the beginning." Before Armin could react, a cold draft swept through the room, carrying a whisper that didn't belong to any living throat. Aeon's eyes widened as he clung to his father, pointing toward the hallway where the shadows rippled as though something moved within them. The whisper grew clearer, forming a chorus of low, unsettling tones. Armin felt a sharp dread settle in his chest. These were not simple sounds but warnings shaped like voices. The stranger braced himself, waiting for whatever approached. The hallway lights flickered, and the door handle began to turn. Elias closed the door behind them, sealing the two of them inside the silent conference room. The glass walls were frosted for privacy, yet he still felt exposed, as if the truth Mara carried could burn through them. She sat across from him, legs drawn in, fingers digging into the frayed straps of her backpack. For a moment, neither spoke. The hum of the building's ventilation filled the space like a warning. "What do you know about my sister?" Elias asked, his voice low, steady, only because he forced it to be. Mara swallowed hard. I only know pieces. Things I overheard. Things I found. Things I wasn't supposed to hear." Her eyes darted to the floor. She looked young, younger than her file suggested, like someone who had learned to shrink herself for safety. Elias tried to soften his tone, but fear sharpened every word. "Start from the beginning." She inhaled shakily. "My mother, she wasn't really my mother. Not the way mothers are supposed to be. She drank a lot. She had people over. Men, mostly. And when she got angry, I stayed quiet, so she forget I was there. But sometimes she didn't forget." Elias felt a knot tighten in his stomach. "One night," Mara continued, voice quivering, "a man came to our apartment. I never seen him before. He had this cold way of talking, like he already knew everything he needed. My mother kept saying, 'Fifth, I don't know where she went. I told you I don't know where Laya went. Fifth.'" Elias froze. He hadn't heard his sister's name in years spoken by anyone outside his family. "She said Laya," he whispered. "Yes." Mara said. And he got angry. He grabbed her. I could hear them fighting. I hid in the closet. But he kept saying the same thing. She had something. She promised me she said deliver it. Sets. Elias's pulse quickened. His sister Leah had disappeared on a rainy night 10 years ago. The police found nothing. No clues. No body. No explanation. The idea that a stranger had been searching for her too, long after her disappearance, sent ice down his spine. What else did you hear? He asked. Mara twisted the hem of her sleeve. My mother kept saying she didn't know, that Leah left town. But the man didn't believe her. And when he left, he said something like, Bia, if the girl shows up again, you know what to do. Elias leaned forward. Why come to me now? Because, Mara whispered. I found something in our apartment, hidden behind a loose floorboard. A few months ago, I didn't understand it at first, but then I saw a missing poster in a news article. The picture of your sister. The one with a red scarf. Mara's gaze flickered up. She had the same scarf inside the floorboard. And something else. Elias's breath caught. Leah's red scarf had been a birthday gift from him. She never went anywhere without it. Where is it? He asked quietly. In my bag. But there's more. Mara took a shaking breath and continued. The night my mother died, she wasn't drunk. She was terrified. She kept checking the windows. She kept saying, if he finds out, he'll kill us both. And she told me, if something happens to me, find Elias, give it to him. She wrote your name on a piece of paper. That's how I found you. Elias felt his throat tighten. Mara, what exactly are you carrying? Her fingers clutched the backpack, as if it were the only anchor keeping her from collapsing. I didn't know if it was dangerous, or if he was still looking for it. I been running hiding, but I knew I had to come. Elias' mind raced. Was it evidence? A letter, something Leah had stolen, something she died protecting. Show me, he said softly. But Mara didn't move. Instead, she whispered, there's something else you need to know. After the man left that night, my mother said something I never forgotten. She said, if Leah survived, it's because she wasn't alone. The words struck Elias like a blow. Survived. Not died. Not vanished. Survived. The possibility felt too dangerous to hope for, but hope surged anyway. Fierce and blinding. Elias steadied himself. Mara, what did you bring? Finally, she pulled the backpack onto her lap and slowly unzipped it. Her hands shook violently, the zipper rattling louder than it should have. Elias leaned in, heart pounding. Mara's breath hitched. I didn't understand what it was. I still don't, but when I saw your sister Sip's photo, I knew it belonged to you. She reached inside. Her hand emerged, holding a small, time-worn object wrapped in a faded cloth. Even before she unwrapped it, Elias felt recognition slam into him. A chill spread through his body. No, he whispered. Mara looked at him, eyes wide. You know it? Elias nodded slowly, breath trembling. It belonged to Leah. She would never have left this behind unless. But his voice broke before he could finish. Mara placed the object gently on the table between them. I think this is why the man was looking for her, she said, and why he might still be looking for me. Elias stared at the object, memory crashing into him like waves. The room seemed to tilt, the air turning heavy and electric. Because the object, small, metallic, and unmistakably familiar, was something he thought had vanished with his sister forever. And the moment he touched it, everything he believed about Alia's disappearance began to unravel. As the cold metal pressed against his palm, a new dread rose, a realization that Leah's story wasn't ending here. It was beginning again, dragging him and Mara into a truth far more dangerous than either of them imagined. a truth waiting just beyond the next door they dared to open.